As you probably know by now, Copilot is Microsoft's artificial intelligence tool that is both a standalone service and embedded in their various business productivity applications. We can click this icon up here. That's going to pull up the Copilot, this Copilot box over on the side. We have some different options here. We can view prompts. You can see it gives us a couple of suggestions on what we can ask. Show the latest invoices. How do I do X, Y, or Z? I'm going to ask it a specific question that we often get for people who are new to Business Central, which is, does Business Central support printing to local printers? So I've asked my question. Copilot is going to take a second here just to scour the web and get that answer for us. And this can be really useful for new users if you're doing something that you've never done before, if you have a really specific question. If you're asking from within Business Central, it's always going to pour over Microsoft documentation. You can see I have a link here. If I hover over that, it's a link to a Microsoft doc site that's talking about printer setup and management. So the answer you're getting is coming from Microsoft documentation, but Copilot can save you a lot of time, so you don't have to dig through all that documentation yourself to find the answer. And it summarizes it in a way that's really nice. So you can see our answer here. Business Central supports printing to local printers through features like universal print, email print, and browser printing. And so our answer is, in a nutshell, yes, it does support it, but it looks like we need some additional setup or some additional features to be enabled. So that's good to know. A lot of people ask that question. So just know you can come in to this Copilot preview and you can ask it other questions as well as they come up. Next up, and this is closely related to the last feature, is the Ask Copilot for Help with Fields feature. So if I close this pane and let's say we jump into a sales order, screen's jumping around here a bit. Let's pop into one of these sales orders. And let's say you're filling out a sales order and you've got all these fields. You know, for a long-time user of Business Central, a lot of these fields are intuitive. You know what they are. You've used them before. But if you're new to Business Central and you're not sure what a field is or what it does, you can hover over it and you're going to get this tooltip here that tells you a little bit more information about that field. Microsoft's been working really hard to make these tooltips more meaningful. Historically, not all the tooltips have been the best. But Microsoft's working on making them as good as they can. But what's cool is for some of these, if there's maybe not the best tooltip, so like for your reference, for example, it says specifies the customer's reference, content will be printed on sales docs. So some people that may be enough for some. For others, this isn't enough information. It doesn't really tell me what the field is for. So what I can do is I can come over to this Ask Copilot option. So we've asked it, give us some more information on this field, your reference. And you can see it gives us a little bit more info than what was in that tooltip, telling us that the field, your reference, is used to handle external document numbers, which are included in posted documents and can be searched by in a similar way as values from the external doc number. So it gives us a little bit more detail in that it's similar to external doc, but it's not available on journal lines. So that's good to know. And once again, we have a link to some documentation where it got that information from. If we want to dig a little deeper, maybe read that documentation for ourselves. But very useful, especially if you've got a field that maybe doesn't have a very descriptive tooltip. You can just ask Copilot. Copilot's going to get that answer for you. Again, this isn't all of Copilot features, but a few of our favorite and maybe the most useful ones as of now. We hope you check them out and see if they can help streamline or speed up parts of your business processes.